Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is in your hemisphere that you are hearing and seeing me. I have found out that our broadcasts get replayed over and over again, which is really an awesome thing. So, hey, thank you for joining us and welcome to Unstoppable Lionesses. We are so excited. We are so excited because this is the season for the lioness. It really is. We have embarked upon a very tumultuous time, a very chaotic time in the world. I mean, literally on a global scale. And when you walk into situations like that, then you know that it is your time to shine because you come forth and you bring about that balance and that peace and that roar of the lioness to say, calm down, I got it. I got it. So again, welcome to Unstoppable Lionesses. And I am Dr. Coylette James. I am your host, and I have another wonderful lioness that is going to come forth in just a few minutes and share with you. But wow. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to be in the midst of the chaos. I know, right? You're going, what? I am so serious. I'm excited to be in the midst of the chaos. Why? Because I was created for this. And guess what? So were you. You were created to shine in the midst of chaos. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. For you to understand how important you are in this moment, in time, in history, how important you are to everything falling in place. We underestimate ourselves far too often. And then we're too busy running around thinking, woe is me, or scared about what's going on around us. No, this is not the time for fear. And this is definitely not the time to doubt who you were created to be. One of the things and one of the tricks of the enemy is to come and to get us to doubt who God created us to be. Listen, it's across the board. It's in the sons of God, it's in the daughters of God, it's across the board. But I have to say this seriously because we know it to be truth. The daughters of the king are attacked vehemently on so many different levels all through history. From creation, okay? Think about who Satan came to tempt in the garden. He came after Eve. He came after Eve. And so throughout history, it has just repeated itself. The Bible says that there's nothing new under the sun. And so, just like the first time when the enemy came to cause Eve to doubt who she was, the power she possessed, okay, and just her whole persona of being mother to creation, right, think about that. You were dubbed to be mother of creation, and you get attacked and told that you are not who God created you to be. You're basically being told that you cannot step up to the plate that God has assigned you to step up to. And you're going, no, that's not what she was told. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Listen and follow me, all right? When the enemy came to her and told her, did God really say that you would die if you eat from that tree? No. Actually, he knew that if you eat from the tree, that you would be like him and you would have the knowledge of good and evil. Well, guess what? She was already like him. She was already created in his image. The word of God says that he created man in his image, male and female created he them. Okay? He didn't exclude us, ladies. He made it a point to put it in the word, male and female created he them. All right. So you were created in his image and in his likeness. You did not need to eat from the tree of good and evil to know who you were. All you had to do was pay attention to who God said you were. Now, that was my note for Eve. It's also my note for you. All right. All you have to do is pay attention to who God said you are. So let's not get caught up in the chaos. Let's not get caught up in the chaotic movements that are around us and forget who we are. All right? Because who we were created to shine in this very moment. We were created to bring balance. We were created to make a difference. I heard this the other day in the spirit, and it just really tickled my heart, right? You weren't created to bring about change. You were created to be change. You were literally created to be the change, to orchestrate what the change was going to look like, to orchestrate the transformation that we as mankind need to go through from time to time, because we get stagnated in where we are. We forget, once again, who we are, and we forget whose we are. So, ladies, lionesses, I am calling you to attention. I am calling you to attention. The last time we came together, we talked about the new unhip movement that is going on. I want to reiterate that. You weren't created to fit in. You weren't created to be the cool kid. You were created to be the change. You were created to be the difference. Not to blend in, not to just go with the status quo, and definitely not to be running around here in fear and interpretation. Come on. Where's your lioness courage and spirit that God placed within you? It's in each and every one of you. Now, I know you have walked through some things. I get it. So have I. So have I. Trust me. But all that I've walked through has did one thing for me. It has solidified my place in this earth realm to be change. And it's the same with you. You think that you are a quote unquote weaker vessel. Baby, you are strength personified. Can I say it again? You are strength personified. How do I know? You're like, you don't even know, Colette. Yes, I do. Because guess what? You're still standing. You were staring back at me right now. And I can just see some of you with tears in your eyes because you really thought that you had come to the end of your road. You thought that you could not take another thing. And I'm here to tell you, you've got to change your mindset. Change your perception of what you've walked through. See, what you've walked through was to build that lioness character within you, to build that courage, to build that strength, that tenacity to say, no, I will not give up. I will not take down. And I doggone sure will not be silenced. How about that? Okay. Yes, I am fired up. I am so fired up because I'm so fed up with the enemy attacking my sisters and you doubting who God said you are. You are a daughter of the king, not a king, but the king. I said this the other morning on one of my lives. We have tried to relegate the entity of who God is into the persona of a man. And so, because of that, we look at him and we think of him and we see him through mortal eyes. He is far from mortal. He is far above mere man. He is the entity that created the cosmos. I heard this on Sunday and it really was like, oh my God, that is so real. In Genesis, when God said, let there be light, and light was, he never told light to stop existing. So therefore, light just keeps going on and on and on. And every time you mess around and you turn around, scientists are saying, oh, they found this new cosmopolitan area out there. in space. Oh, they found this new cluster of planets out there in space. Why? Because God never told life to stop. He never told creation to stop. So creation just keeps creating. That's the entity that you stem from. Okay? Come on. Stop looking at yourself as this little inconsequential being. Because believe me, you are not. You're not inconsequential. You're not weak. You are strength personified. Think about it. Think about all the different things that God placed within you for you to be the birther of life, for you to be able to carry and incubate and birth out. That's not a weak vessel. That is not a weak vessel. So stop looking at yourself in this minuscule little mindset and rise up. Be who you were created to be. Do what you were created to do. It's time. It's time out for taking a step back. It's time out for sitting on your laurels and doing nothing. It's time out for being afraid and think that little old you doesn't have anything to say. Little old you can't do anything to change anything. Again, you are the change. I got my granddaughter a blanket a couple of years ago. I got everybody blankets that Christmas, and all the different blankets had different sayings on it. And my granddaughter's, I'm gonna paraphrase it because I don't remember it verbatim, but my granddaughter's blanket basically said that they came to her to warn her and tell her the storm was coming. And she looked at them and said, I am the storm. Because that's who she is. That's who you are. As people are coming to warn you that this is coming and that's coming, you can look at them and say, hey, but I am who I am by the grace of God, and I don't have to worry about it. What I have to do is make sure that I am in tune to what God is calling me to do in this moment. And that's be change. All right? So, yeah, I'm going to step off my soapbox for a moment here so that I can let my other lioness come in and share with you. Because I am telling you, ladies, I am telling you, I am fired up about this. And it is time out for us to step back and say, what you can't do. Let me tell you what you can do. All right. Okay. Hey, Patsy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful and am so excited about what God gave you to talk about today versus what God gave me to talk about today and how they're just like puzzle pieces. It's
Doesn't he
hilarious. I'm
always do
backstage
that?
laughing.
That's what he does. That's what he does because he knows exactly what he's doing. He is totally strategic in everything he does. So I'm
Yes.
excited. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the back, and I'm going to let you take this over.
All right, ladies, I'm going to talk to you about something amazing today. So, as soon as I found out that I was going to be on this particular show, I've been like going, what do I need to, encouragement needs to be brought? And the only thing that I could settle on is authenticity. Now, you guys know that my spot is called Keys to People First Leadership, and I am a leadership expert. I'm a person who is passionate and a lifelong learner of leadership, right? So I wanted to bring that perspective to women today. So I'm going to talk to you real quick, though. I'm going to tell you a story about barbecue. Okay. Because barbecue in different states is a completely different animal. I mean, if you talk to somebody from Alabama or North Carolina or any place really that is in a southern state, and you talk to them about barbecue, you're going to get a different answer as to what is the best type of barbecue. I mean, is it a Memphis dry rub? Is it a North Carolina vinegar sauce? Is it a Texas smoked barbecue? I mean, you're going to get all kinds of answers to all kinds. It was according to where you go geographically. And transplants, I mean, we transplanted to Tennessee from Texas, and it's hard to find good Texas barbecue in Tennessee. It just is. Now, you ask a Tennessean, and they're going to tell you that the barbecue here is the best that there is. It's according to what spices that you're used to or what's needed for the moment. And I'm going to talk to you, ladies, about authenticity, about being authentic in leadership. Because, see, just like the barbecue, certain spices create a certain flavor. You were created with things inside of you that give you a certain personality, variations of different strengths, the ability to influence people in different ways. See, Dr. Coyle once told me, she said, it's not so much a position when you're talking about leadership as it is influence. Influence is what makes a leader a leader. John Maxwell also says that the definition of leadership is influence. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Influence. And yet, as women, whenever we get into a position of leadership, we feel like we have to be something more, something different. We have to put on this air. We have to take off our flowers and our soft colors, and we have to put on a more masculine type outfit. We have to put on a masculine face and wear masculine shoes. Whenever I came up in leadership in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, that's exactly what it was. We had to wear these suits because that was appropriate. That's what all of the leaders were wearing, and it didn't matter that it didn't flatter the feminine form or it wasn't part and parcel of our personality. That's what we had to do. That wasn't authentic. It wasn't authentic to our femininity. It wasn't authentic to our strengths that we brought to the table. And it wasn't authentic to us individually. Now, some ladies rock those suits. I'm going to tell you, they did a great job because that was part and parcel of their personality. It wasn't mine. So I had to find my own way, my own identity to influence. I had to look at things and go, I'm not really going to pay attention to this because it's not me. I'm not going to try to fit into that box. And there were positions that I didn't go after because of that. And there were positions that I got turned down from because of that. But the thing is that I firmly believe that an authentic leader is the only kind of leader that really can lead. It's the only way to have good influence over people. And managers may do a great job at managing data, managing metrics, managing systems, but leaders lead people. They go there first. So I want to talk to you guys about something I found the other day, that according to Forbes and several different types of magazines, the top 3 styles of leadership now that are the most productive are transformational, adaptive, and inclusive. And another article said that the top most effective style of leadership is coaching leadership. So I looked up the difference and I said, okay, what is the difference between transformative transformative leadership and coaching leadership? Let me read you what I found right here. So they're both focused on goal achievement and improving performance. However, transformational leadership style is more focused on organizational transformation, And coaching leadership style is more focused on supporting growth at an individual and team levels. So basically, what's going on here is that there is a shift. There's a shift in leadership and psychological uh, different kinds of data are showing that teams actually perform higher and better whenever they are coached. See, the old authoritative, autocratic type of leadership would demand from people, whereas coaching says you came here, and transformational, you came here with a certain set of abilities, and I want to help pull every one of those strengths and abilities out of you. Which gender do you think is going to be better at bringing things out of people instead of demanding things from people? It's us. Now, I'm not going to say that there's not some gentlemen out there who are really great at it. I happen to have been married to one for the last 28 years. He's amazing at bringing things from people. In fact, he has taught me a whole lot about that. But I will tell you that it's not the norm. That is his particular blend of spices that he has. I will tell you that you being the most authentic you that you can be is going to make you the very best leader for your team. Don't bend just because you're a Texas barbecue rub in a Memphis world. That's not what's going to happen. Or you're a Memphis dry rub in a Alabama sauce state. That's just not necessary. You be the most authentic you that you can be, and then you will be successful beyond your wildest imagination. Because being what God gave you the spices to be, being who He designed you to be, He is the ultimate designer. So, being who He designed you to be and influencing the world around you with the parts of Him that He put inside of you, that's a no brainer. I don't know why we ever thought we had to. Oh, wait, Dr. Coylette just told us, because the serpent comes and he comes to deceive and to tell us who we are is not enough. But we have a knowledge on the inside of us that is different. And we have encouragers and we have a cloud of witnesses around us that tells us something different. That knowledge on the inside of us that tells us that we were created with purpose, that we were created for something bigger, that the things that are on the inside of us have value. Those things, sweet lady, what God created inside of you, what's on the inside of you right now is more than enough. It's an explosion of flavor ready to sprinkle all over the people around you to help them become better human beings. We are the change. Dr. Coylette is correct. We are the change. We are the ones that God has put inside of organizations, inside of families, inside of situations, that whenever we are our most authentic self, we change the atmosphere. Just like a good barbecue, the flavors of it will change the atmosphere in the room. You're going to change the atmosphere, sweet one. My lady, you don't have to be anybody else. You do not have to be anybody else but who you are already. Focus on your strengths. Don't worry about what you don't have. Worry about what you have. Identify those things. Focus on those things. Be an expert at who you are already. And the other things, they'll come. They'll come. Because confidence confidence is what we have when we know what we have inside. And when we operate in confidence, success just follows, just happens naturally. Right, Dr. C? Oh, sorry. I guess maybe I should have taken more time.
No, I was all into what you were saying. It was just like, oh, okay, where's the mic? You are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. It was like when you were like, focus on your strengths. It's like all I heard was what's in your hand. Well, what's inside of you?
Mm-hmm.
Because what's inside of you is what he placed in you. This is why I'm constantly saying over and over again, your uniqueness is your superpower. It's your
Yep.
superpower. I was thinking this too. And you know how people get really nervous when they have to take the test? It's like some
Mm.
people like they get clammy. They can know the material backwards and forwards. It is something about that test.
Test. Mm.
Test. And once they start talking about that test, then they're like, oh my God, they're all concerned and scared and worried and don't know what to do. But guess what? This test, you can't flunk it. You know why?
Mm-mm.
Because nobody else can beat you being you.
That's exactly right. Ain't
No one.
nobody you but you. The only test that I can fail is trying to be somebody else. That's it.
Trying to fit in, trying to act like, that you need to be more than what you were created to be. Because what you were created to be is the be all end all of it all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not about being more. It's not about being better. Yes, do we work to on ourselves? Of course
Mm-hmm.
we do. Because nobody wants to stay where we are. But the bottom line is at any given point in time, like tomorrow, I pray I'll be better than I am today. But guess what? I am
Mm-hmm.
the very best me that I could possibly be at this very moment right now.
Yes.
Because I'm
100%.
authentic. As you said, I'm authentically me.
Mm-hmm.
Me. And
Yep.
so are you.
And the beautiful thing about it is that it doesn't matter. There's space for every one of us on this planet. It's never going to get crowded in my space. You know why? Because I'm the only one who can occupy it.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Yes.
So there are so many people who are talking about the positive impacts of leadership. And I can be tempted to worry about what they're saying, but my only competition is with myself. If I'm not saying what is my authentic communication,
Mm-hmm.
my truth, the thing that is on the inside of me to pour out,
Yeah.
that's failure.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because nobody else has my message. Nobody else has my message. Now, they may be saying something like it. They may say something that is actually going to back up my message. I may say
Mm.
something that's going to back up their message. But there is no one that has this particular brand of flavors that's going to carry it the way I carry it. It's just not going to happen. And the ladies out there, they need to know that when they occupy a space of leadership, and it doesn't matter if they're talking about a leader in a home or a leader of a Fortune 1 million corporation, the thing is that they are authentically them, and they are unique to their position.
Mm-hmm.
And they got there, like scripture says, God puts kings up and he takes kings down. And they got where they are, not because they're an imposter and not
Mm-hmm.
because they don't deserve to be there. They
Mm-hmm.
got there because they were placed there by the one
Mm-hmm.
who created them to be there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And for that appointed time, you're in
Yeah.
the right place at the right time. you know, because this
Mm-hmm.
is this is the perfect time for your flavor.
Mm-hmm.
For your flavor. See, personally, I don't think anybody does my barbecue, and I'm in Las Vegas. I'm not
That's
Texas.
right.
I'm not Tennessee. I'm not Alabama. Okay. I'm a West Coast girl, but I love my barbecue because
Mm-hmm.
it's my flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's my flavor, you know? And each of us has our flavor, like you said. And nobody can outdo your flavor because it
And
was
what is
authentically put there for you.
exactly, what does this, what does scripture say? So what brought that to me was the scripture that popped through my mind that said, what good is salt if the salt loses its flavor? And I'm like, God, we've put that in a manner that it's like, so I have to be salty, not salty in the it's salty in the earth, not salty to the earth.
Mhm.
Uh but but I but God created so many more flavors than just salt.
Exactly.
I may have a little bit of chili up in there.
Little
I've got some
mango, a little habanero,
little
like,
spicy
yeah.
to go along with my oregano. But that's the thing, is how good am I to be what I was created to be if I lose my spice?
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
I give it away and try to take on other things, I'm no good. I'm not going to be fulfilled. I'm
Mhm.
not going to feel accomplished. I'm
Mhm.
not going to fit into the places that God is trying to put me in.
Right.
Because if I lose my unique flavor, I'm not going to be able to accomplish what He set me on this earth to accomplish.
And here's the thing, Patsy. I don't like a lot of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Other people like their food very salty. I like flavors. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I very rarely, like, the old Morton shaker. I,
Mm-hmm.
ve- I probably have used Morton salt maybe 5 times in the past 6, 7 years. Okay. I use garlic salt because I like garlic. And I like
Mm-hmm.
onions, and I like the oregano, and I like the thyme, and I like the basil. I like the different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And I like a lot of salt. I'm saying this to say everybody's not for you. You're
Yeah.
not for everybody. So stop trying to win the world because the
Mm-hmm.
world is not going to embrace you. However, those that God has specifically called to you, they will identify with you. And you will
Yes.
be just the right amount of salt. You'll be just the right amount of flavor. They'll
Mm-hmm.
be able to digest you. They'll be able to receive you. And they'll be able to pour into you. See, everybody can pour into me. All right.
Mm-mm.
I'm going
Mm-mm.
to give you a perfect example. Sunday morning or Saturday, whichever day you go to church, you know, if I go in and all the preacher up there is giving me is a hoop and singing their message, and message don't does not have any meat, you lost me
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't come to be entertained. I came for the sincere meat of the words, not to be invigorated, but to be enhanced,
Yeah.
so that when I walk out, I have something to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I like praise and worship. I like a good song. I like all of that. I like to see the flow and the movement of the Holy Spirit. But when I leave that place, the word is what I'm taking with me.
Mm-hmm.
The word is what I'm applying to my life, not a, "Ooh." Okay?
Woo-hoo. Yeah.
No, no. I'll go to the club if I want to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't come to church to be entertained. So but there are those that hey, that's the word was good today. What did he preach about? I don't know, but it was good. You don't know? Well, what made it good if you don't know? If it wasn't something that you could apply to your life that you could use out here in these streets, because you need something you can use out here, then what made it good?
Yeah.
Because the song was good? No, boo.
Mm.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Because
And
your
likewise
emotions got
with your
stirred.
life. There you go. Likewise with your life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
God is so, just like when you said how we cohabitate well together. We complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beauty of how God made us. So that you bring your portion, I bring my portion. We got another segment coming up in a little bit. They're going to bring their portion. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Mm-hmm.
the more we do this, the more pieces come together, the more the puzzle starts to fit.
Yeah.
The
And the
more the puzzle.
clearer the picture becomes, because
Yes.
you can't tell. A youth pastor I used to work with used to play this game with the youth. Whenever you focus, like you go really, really in, you zoom way in on a picture, and then they have to guess whatever that picture is. You know what I'm talking about?
Hmm,
A
hmm,
lot of us see ourselves like that. Like we have one puzzle piece that we concentrate on,
hmm,
and it is the smallest piece
hmm.
in the whole daggone puzzle. And it's got the least amount of color and the least amount of flavor, and we identify our entire puzzle by that one piece.
And there's 500 other pieces laying over there on the side.
And they all got way more color, way more beauty to them, way more brightness and dimension, but we
Mhm.
identify ourselves by that one little negative space color. And I know that I have struggled with it. And I know that a lot of women out there have struggled with it,
Yeah,
because it would not be so heavy on our hearts.
right.
And this is the beautiful thing: God always reveals to heal. He
Yeah,
never just reveals, He always reveals to heal. So if any of you ladies are out there and you are worrying about not being enough, or you're concentrating on all the negative spaces in your life, we're here to encourage you. You've got more to give than even you know that you have to give.
mm,
That you are more than the negatives in your life. That
yes.
you have so much inside of you that is
Mhm,
spice and light and
mhm,
color.
mhm.
Look for those things. Find those nuggets and hold on to them, because those are the things that are going to transform your world, that are going to make you the change that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the woman that's standing there and staring into the mirror and does not recognize the woman that's staring back at her.
Mm,
And
mhm,
I'm really sensing that the reason you don't recognize her is because you've put her behind so many masks, so many layers, that
mhm,
you don't see the authentic you that you were created to be. Raimonda, whose beautiful network we're appearing on right now, had said something when she liberated herself by shaving her head. But she said when she looked in the mirror, it was like she could see her. She could finally see herself. She could see herself and enjoyed and loved who was staring back at her. She wasn't hiding behind a mask anymore. She was being her own authentic self. Now, she had beautiful long hair and she's a beautiful woman anyway, but she gave the analogy that her hair was something that she hid behind
mhm.
because it was so precious to her. And she was just so taken by her hair that, when she sat there and just took the clippers and began shaving it off, she literally said she just felt the layers falling off of things that she had hidden behind. Now, the hair
Mhm,
was just an outward expression of what she was feeling on the inside, but she
mhm.
was getting rid of all of the layers so that
Yeah.
she could authentically see herself. And I said this, I spoke at her conference a few weeks ago in Miami, and I said, you may not need to shave your head. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's not what you need to do, but you need to come face to face with the layers that you're hiding behind
Mhm.
and begin to
Mhm.
remove them. So that as
Yes.
Patsy has been really, really eloquently portraying to you, you can be the authentic you that you were created to be.
And you haven't lost her in motherhood. She hasn't been drowned in making a home or
Mm-mm.
creating space for a spouse or for children.
No.
She's still there. She's still there.
Yeah.
You may have to coax her out with a cookie, but she's still there.
Listen, one of my icebreakers, and Patsy can testify to this because she was at my retreat in the Smoky Mountains. But one of my icebreakers is to have the ladies, when we do the spiritual business retreat, the Lioness Roundtable, is to tell everybody in the room what you dreamed about being when you were a little girl. And the whole purpose is to open that window up again so you can dream again,
Yeah.
so that you can revisit that space where nothing was limited to you, that you could dream about going to the stars if that's what you wanted. You know, and the things that the ladies talk about, it's just like you can feel it. You can literally feel them going back to that place and envisioning once again what it was they dreamed about being. I want you, where you are, to dream again. Like Patsy said, that woman inside of you, the little girl inside of you that felt that there was nothing that she could do, she's still there. She's still there. And guess what? If you allow it, her imagination is just as vivid right now as it was back then. And it's good. It's a good imagination. It's not like the vain imagination that God tells us to stay away from. It's His ability to infiltrate your
Yeah.
dreams, to show you that nothing is impossible to you. Nothing is impossible to you. I want you to dream again. I want you to see the beauty that you possess, because Patsy
Mhm.
just said it. You haven't lost it. You're still there. I don't care what has been done to you. I don't care what
Mhm.
you have encountered. I don't care what you have done. The beauty of who God created you to be, His beautiful baby girl, she's still there.
Mhm.
She's still there. And she needs to get in touch with her authentic self. So I'm going to challenge you to right now tell your 6-year old you that she can be anything in this world that she wants to be. And let 6-year old you say to however old you are right now, you know you're right.
Mhm.
You know you're right. Because at 6 years old, you believed it. And you need to believe it again.
Yeah.
You need to believe it again. Yeah, it's good.
That
It's
was
good.
good.
It's real. Sometimes we have to go back and do that. One of the ladies at the last round table, she was just like, that was her takeaway from the 6 days. That was her takeaway. I can dream again.
Mm. Yep.
I can allow myself to dream again because I have put my dreams away. So
Yeah.
it's time to pull them back out. All right, baby girl, you got 45 seconds to tell people how to get key leadership associates in their world.
Absolutely. So our website is KLA, Key Leadership Associates, KLA dot Alston ENT, like my last name, and ENT.com.
You need key leadership associates in your life. You do. You need the tools and the nuggets that Patsy possesses to help you walk in that place of leadership that God has called you to. Because as she said, whether it's in your home, on your job, in the church, or on the streets, you have been called to be an unstoppable lioness leader. So you have an incredible day. We love you. And we are grateful that we get to dream again with you. God bless you.